He knew that Carla used to be the same. Finally, he used his $10 to buy corn from the woman. The woman looked so happy with the money that he couldn't help smiling. He knew he had done the right thing. He took the corn and returned to the restaurant. "That boy is back," commented one of the diners. Another said, "He must have borrowed money from someone. Even if he did manage to borrow some money from a friend, he won't be able to afford to eat much here. The cheapest dish is over $100. Then someone observed, "He's bought corn cobs. What's he doing now?" Alex went and sat next to Leona and said, "You've been waiting for a long time. I'm sorry." Daryl pointed to the corn in Alex's hand and said, "We've waited all this time, and all you've done is buy some cheap corn? Do you really expect Miss Marvel to be happy eating that?" "Don't worry. I know exactly how Miss Marvel likes to eat it. Sir, can I use your cooker?" Alex asked the restaurant manager. "Since he's gone to the trouble of picking corn, we might as well let him continue with this charade," Daryl advised. Then he looked at Leona and said, "Miss Marvel certainly hasn't had enough to eat. It just happens that I know a little bit about cooking. I'll show her what I can do in the kitchen, too." Daryl and Alex then walked into the kitchen together. After half an hour, they each came out with a plate of food, which they placed in front of Leona. Alex's plate contained 2 boiled corn cobs, while Daryl presented a shrimp stir-fry. "He really does expect Miss Marvel to eat plain corn. That's showing her such a lack of respect," commented one of the diners. His wife said, "Daryl's so handsome, and it looks like he can really cook, too. The stir-fried shrimp looks delicious." "That boy should feel ashamed cooking corn for Miss Marvel," another woman said. Daryl smiled at Leona and said, "Miss Marvel, I want to apologize to you first. I never imagined that this boy would keep pestering you and now buy you a few cobs for dinner. If you don't want to eat them, of course, that's fine. I think my fried shrimp is pretty good. I hope that you'll try it." He had already inquired and found out that one of her favorite dishes was fried shrimp. Leona deliberately didn't look at Alex. She felt that he was teasing her. Instead, she picked up a spoon, scooped out a shrimp, and put it into her mouth. She chewed it slowly and swallowed it. With a smile, she said to Daryl, "Your cooking is excellent. The food is delicious." Daryl was overjoyed with the praise. He said, "Miss Marvel, thank you for your kind praise. To hear that you like my food has made me the happiest man in the world." An onlooker commented, "Oh, what a lovely thing to say. Daryl is so considerate. What woman wouldn't want a man like him?" Her friend agreed. "It looks like Daryl has managed to outdo the other men that Miss Marvel has turned down. He has surely won her over now." The first woman replied, "Yes, if Daryl and Leona get married, it will be a match made in heaven." "Even if you're still hungry, don't feel that you have to eat those 2 corn cobs," the restaurant manager said to Leona. With a polite smile, Leona picked up a cob of corn. Although she really didn't want to eat the food brought by Alex, she felt that she should at least try it. After all, he had spent time preparing it. Leona gently bit on the corn. As she chewed it, she tasted it carefully and found it to be extremely sweet and tender. Daryl advised her, "Miss Marvel, don't eat it if it's not delicious. Who knows where he picked it? There might be pesticides on it." Leona didn't seem to hear him. She took another bite, then a second, then a third. As she continued to eat, she started tearing up. The people watching looked at each other and didn't know what to think. "Miss Marvel, what's the matter?" Daryl asked her gently. He couldn't understand how eating a corn cob could make her cry. Leona put down the corn and wiped her tears with her hand. She replied, "I don't know. When I eat this corn, I feel very sad. I feel guilty about something, and I can't help but crying." "Miss Marvel, which of these two dishes do you like best?" one of the onlookers suddenly asked. His friend retorted, "Duh, isn't it obvious? How can the corn cob compare with Daryl's stir-fried shrimp?" "Daryl's dish won hands down," someone else said confidently. "The boy's corn cob also made Miss Marvel cry. Now someone's gotta kick him out," his friend said angrily. "I like," Leona started to say, and everyone else stopped talking and listened intently. She looked at the corn and said, "I really like this corn." Daryl looked at her in disbelief. He said, "What? Miss Marvel, do you like to eat plain corn? Do you really prefer it to my shrimp?" He simply couldn't understand that simple corn cobs could be more delicious than his own fried shrimp dish. The other diners were also shocked. They chatted excitedly amongst themselves and wondered what was going on. Alex looked her straight in the eye and said earnestly, "Debbie, think hard. Your mother told me that corn is your favorite food because of something that happened when you were young. Corn once made you feel sad. Now, will you admit that you're Debbie?" When he saw her tear up while eating the corn, he was more certain than ever that this girl was Debbie. Leona stared at Alex, then slowly stood up and walked over to him. The people watching became a little flustered, especially Daryl, who clenched his fists. Someone asked, "What's she doing? Surely she's not going to choose him." His friend agreed. "It looks like she's willing to ruin her family over a cob of corn." "I just can't believe it," said another man. Alex was also stunned, and his heart fluttered as he wondered, is Debbie finally going to admit that she knows me? She went right up to Alex, looked him directly in the eye, smiled and said, "I want to thank you. Your corn was delicious. It made me feel very emotional, and because of this, I know for sure that you are deeply in love with your girlfriend, Debbie. I'm very moved by your love. She's very lucky to have a boyfriend who loves her as deeply as you do. But I'm really not her. I am really not Debbie. So I hope that from now on you will respect the fact that your girlfriend and I are two different people. You must stop thinking that I am her." She felt that his obsession with her was bad for both of them, so she wanted to convince him that he was making a mistake. When she finished speaking to Alex, she went back over to Daryl. One onlooker said, "Oh, I was worried then. I thought that she was going to accept him, but she just let him down very gently." "Hey, the boy's unbelievable. You really thought he could win her affections with a corn cob," said another. His companion agreed. He needs to get over it and understand that she's rejected him. Everyone can see that Miss Marvel and Daryl are a perfect match. Daryl was relieved when he saw that Leona had rejected Alex, and he wondered how he had ever felt threatened by him. After all, he was just a loser from the street. Miss Marvel would never be attracted to someone like him. He said to Leona, "Miss Marvel, ignore him now. I think there's something wrong with him. You haven't eaten much. Sit down and let's get back to our meal." "I'm full, thanks. I'd like to go home, please," Leona said. "Okay, I'll take you back now," Daryl said as he picked up the car keys from the table. "Let's go." "You don't have to take me. I can get home by myself," Leona told him. She continued, "Listen, Daryl, I enjoyed having dinner with you today, but I don't think that we're suited to each other. If you like, we can just be friends." Daryl's smile froze. He was embarrassed by her rejection. but wasn't prepared to give up yet. He asked, "Please, can you tell me what I did wrong? Miss Marvel, if you tell me, I will change it. We had too little time alone tonight. You haven't had a chance to get to know me properly." "No need to, but thank you," Leona said to him with a smile. At that moment, Leona's bodyguard walked into the room. He said, "Miss, the car's outside." Leona nodded to Daryl and Alex respectively, and then followed the bodyguard out of the restaurant. Again, the other diners started to comment. One woman said, "I think Miss Marvel just rejected Daryl." His friend said, "Daryl must feel even worse than that other loser. After all, she let him down gently, but her rejection of Daryl was brutal." The woman said, "Don't let Daryl hear you say that. He already looks so angry." Daryl stood on the spot and watched Leona through the window as she climbed into the car and drove away. He felt angry and frustrated. He had been planning this evening for a long time, and even before the meal was over, Leona had rejected him. He felt that she had given him even less chance to prove himself than she had given that loser Alex. The whispers of the onlookers made him blush and feel humiliated. He had already paid for the meal, so he simply glared at Alex and left quickly. The manager quickly ushered Alex out of the restaurant after him. Alex had started to feel a little more optimistic. Although Leona had still refused to admit that she was Debbie and acknowledged that she knew him, at least she had rejected Daryl. He remained convinced that, with persistence, he would find a way to convince her. It was already 8:30 in the evening as Alex slowly pushed his rental bike up the road. That moment, he heard someone cry, "Alex!" He looked up and saw that it was his high school hall monitor Miriam Henley and her boyfriend Jake. "Did you come to the restaurant by bike?" Miriam asked him. "Honey, Alex must be the person that we saw being kicked out of the restaurant by the security guards," she said to Jake with a chuckle. "I can't believe that he dared to even go into that restaurant dressed like that." A BMW drove by. The owner leaned out of the window, pointed to Alex, and said with a smile, "Alex, no one can believe that you asked Miss Marvel out today. It's so funny that she rejected you like that in the restaurant." Miriam was astounded. "You asked out someone from the Marvel family? One of Mr. Marvel's daughters?" "Yes, this guy still dreams of marrying into the Marvel family, but he was rejected by Miss Marvel in person. He also quarreled with Daryl Brennan." The owner of the car answered her and then sped away. Miriam was hysterical. She laughed. "Alex, you crack me up. You went to the restaurant dressed like that to ask Miss Marvel for a date?" She was laughing so much that she started rocking back and forth. She continued teasing Alex. "By the way, where do you work now? How much money can you make in a month? I think you might as well drop out of school and go to work in the electronics factory." "Hey, Miriam, what are you talking about? Alex is too good for the electronics factory," Jake joked. "He's one of the best students at Preston University. He wouldn't be seen dead at a factory. He's planning to be a top manager of a multinational business. Am I right, Alex?" "All right, let's leave him alone. Let's go to a different restaurant to eat. I still can't believe he thought he could afford to eat somewhere like this," Miriam said as she looked snootily at Alex, took Jake's arm and walked away. Alex rode his bike back to his rented room. For the next 20 days, Alex continued with his plan. Every day he waited for an hour at the gate of Arlington Heights. But he was not as impulsive as he had been previously. When he saw Leona walking out of the building, he just stood quietly on the street and watched her. He was satisfied just seeing that she was well. Of course, he observed several other rich young men trying to court Leona, but none were successful. After nearly 3 weeks, however, she was still looking at him with puzzlement and anxiety. and he realized that she was starting to lose her patience with him. One day, Lindsay calculated that Alex had been waiting there for more than a month, and she couldn't understand what he was doing. She told him, "You better not wait here anymore. My sister really isn't this Debbie that you think she is. Waiting here like this isn't going to get you anywhere." Alex was used to a lack of comprehension from everyone who saw him. With a cool smile, he said, "Thank you, but she's the meaning of my life. How can I live without her?" "Is it really worth it? You must understand that my sister can't be with you." Lindsay frowned slightly. Alex didn't answer. He just sat quietly opposite the gate of Arlington Heights. Lindsay told him, "My sister is about to start school. She's studying at Richmond University. She's hardly ever going to come back here. There's no point in you waiting here anymore." "Okay, thank you for letting me know," he replied calmly. But inside his heart was hammering. Lindsay looked at him for a few seconds, then sighed and walked away. The next day, Alex followed Nelly to the RFK Memorial Stadium to set up the pancake stand. Nelly was becoming frustrated with Alex's visits to Leona every day and threatened to reduce his pay. She had already deducted money from his salary that month. Business was good for them at the stadium, and they made more than $200 that morning. At lunchtime, a girl approached the food truck and said, "2 pancakes, please." When she saw Alex, she said, "Alex, it's you." He looked at the girl carefully and recognized her as one of his old high school classmates, Phillipa. They had never paid each other much attention in class. He smiled and said politely, "Phillipa, what a coincidence. You're also here in Washington, D.C." But she ignored him and called to her friend, "Miriam, come over here." A moment later, Miriam came over. When she saw Alex working in the food truck, she smiled at him scornfully. Phillipa took Miriam's arm and said with a smile, "Miriam, you told me a few days ago that Alex was here, but I didn't believe it. Now I know it's true." Miriam sneered. I also said that he found a job. I didn't realize that his job was selling pancakes. It's hilarious." Phillipa was still surprised. She said to Alex, "Yes, Alex, what are you doing? You're a student of Preston University. If you needed to find a part-time job, you should have found something decent. You shouldn't be doing something so menial." Miriam and Phillipa were studying at a university in Washington, and the new term was about to start. They had returned to the city early. Although the university that they attended wasn't a particularly good one, Miriam had found a rich boyfriend. For that reason, Phillipa wanted to stay on her good side. She knew that in the future when she was looking for a good job, Miriam's boyfriend could help her. "Phillipa, don't bother. I could tell when we were in high school that he had no ambition to improve himself. It looks like he's no different now," Miriam sneered. Miriam was proud of herself and looked down at Alex. At that moment, pungent smoke wafted into her face. Miriam and Phillipa started choking. They quickly took a few steps back, bent down and coughed. When they finished coughing, Miriam pointed to Nelly and asked angrily, "What are you doing?" She saw that Nelly had burned the pancakes and was tilting the pan to let the smoke blow straight out toward them. "What's the matter?" Nelly asked with a smile. "I'm sorry, but it seems that I've burned your pancakes. Do you still want them?" Miriam was furious. "You have to cook fresh ones for us right now," she said. "I'm sorry, but I'm tired and it's too late to make fresh ones. If you want these, you can have them for free," Nelly replied with a smile. "You stupid cow! What do you mean you're too tired?" Miriam shouted as she glared at Nelly. She was ready to push her way into the food truck. But before she could move, Nelly tilted the pan and a stream of hot oil dripped onto the ground by her feet. Miriam squealed and stepped back. Forget it, Miriam. Let's go and get food somewhere else, Phillipa said. She took Miriam's arm and pulled her away. Thank you, Alex said to Nelly. She didn't look at him. She just kept working with the food in her pan. Why are you thanking me? I think those two women are eyesores, she said. He felt a bit ashamed of her. He thought that if she was the only one in her truck after he left each day, she must feel very lonely. Why do you tolerate them so much? She asked, as she sat on a stool and watched him pack up. He was stunned and replied, We're old classmates after all. They just said a few words to me. They didn't try to beat me up or anything. I don't want to be like them. If I start hurling insults as they do, I might become like them. Oh, you have much more patience than I do. If someone gets upset with me, I'll get 10 times more upset back at them, she said. He didn't say anything. In his 7 years of poverty training, the humiliation, ridicule, and bullying that he had endured had been unimaginable. Hey, more than a month has gone by, so why haven't you called your family yet? You're not going to die alone like me, are you? She asked. Her question touched his heart, as the memories of his family came flooding back to him. He had started to lose his memories of his grandparents, father and mother, since he had been sent to Texas for poverty training 7 years ago. He had not seen his parents in all that time, and he had only met his grandfather once on Harmony Island a few months ago. He sniffled a little as he looked at her with watery eyes. Did your family treat you badly? She asked. Her question surprised him, and he replied, No, it's just that thinking of my family makes me sad. Did your family treat you badly? She stared at him, but she didn't seem to understand what he had meant by this question. She appeared to stop and think about something, and she became a little gloomy. I hate thinking about my family. They're worse than some of the worst villains out there. He was surprised to hear this. What did your family do to you that makes you hate them so much? She looked at him with a painful expression. Just don't talk to me about them anymore, okay? They're all dead to me now. After she had finished talking, she grabbed a drink out of the refrigerator and walked out of the food truck. He was concerned, since they had just had an emotional conversation, and he wanted to go with her. But she said, Just look after the truck while I'm gone. If I come back and I find you being lazy, I'll deduct your pay by $150. She went for a walk alone. More than an hour passed before she returned. She appeared to be back to her usual self and continued bossing Alex around with an occasional kick to his rear end. Despite being kicked, Alex was very happy to see that she was doing better. Alex returned to his rented room that evening. He lay in bed and checked for information about Richmond University. Summer vacation was coming to an end, and classes at this Washington, D.C. university were resuming in a few days. He thought that if he and Nelly could park the food truck near the university, he would have more opportunities to see Leona. He put down his phone and was about to go to sleep when it started to ring. He saw a number with a Washington area code, but he couldn't guess who was calling. He answered the phone. Hello, Alex, it's Phillipa, said the caller. Phillipa? How did you get my number? He asked. Hey, it wasn't easy. I had someone help me crack into your WhatsApp and find out your number, she said. Oh, what's the matter? Alex wondered why she was calling him, as they had not had much contact with each other in high school. There'll be a meeting with people originally from Texas at the Ruby Hotel tomorrow. We should go there together. People from Texas who now live in Washington, D.C. will all be there, and maybe they can help you. Come with me, said Phillipa. I don't want to go. You can go by yourself, but thanks for telling me. He did want to attend the meeting, but his lack of funds prevented him. Hey, you're so boring. How can you refuse my invitation? Are you still a bachelor? You really don't understand the advantages that it can bring you, she said to him, and then continued. Are you afraid that you can't afford to pay for your meal? Don't worry, you won't have to pay. A boss will be there who's inviting everyone this time. Up to 100 people will attend, so we can go together. He muttered. She had warmly invited him, and he didn't have anything against Phillipa. On top of it, he wouldn't need to pay for it, so after a few seconds of mulling it over, he said, Okay, I'll go with you. Okay, good. It's tomorrow evening in meeting room 304 at the Ruby Hotel. I'll see you there, she said and hung up the phone. Phillipa was sitting with Miriam at a coffee shop downtown, and they sipped tea. Miriam, why did you want me to bring Alex? I thought you said that you hated him, she asked suspiciously. Yes, it's because I hate him so much that I'm letting him come, said Miriam, as she took a swallow from her cup. Phillipa had a bad feeling. It felt like the phone call she had just made to Alex might end up hurting him. She said in a low voice, We're all high school classmates. Some of the unhappy things that happen in high school are water under the bridge. Don't you agree? No. Miriam stared at her angrily and said, If it wasn't for him, I could have gone to a top university. What school do I go to now? I go to a second-rate local college. So my whole life path was changed by him. Phillipa, do you know that because of this, my family and friends laughed at me for 2 years? It's all thanks to Alex. I want to see him ridiculed by lots of people. I want him to have a taste of what I had to deal with, and then he can finally see how it feels. Phillipa knew what had happened all those years ago. Why did Miriam think it was Alex's fault? What had happened to Miriam was that when she was taking her final exams, her pen had stopped working properly, and she had gotten so flustered and annoyed that she had failed.
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.